Alright, welcome back. Today I have for you the deck list that I played at F&M, and you may have seen playing against the Team USA Enchantment deck. This one I call Black White Birthday Bash. Don't know why, but with Black White Zombies, you just want to call it Birthday Bash. But starting out with the 1-drops, which are pretty much standard across the board in any zombie deck you'll see, which is going to be your 4 Gravecaller and your 4 Diagraph Ghouls. Gravecaller, this allows you to be aggressive, Gravecaller being the best 1-drop in the deck, Diagraph Ghoul also being really well. Moving into our removal spells, there's only 4, which is a little bit different than red-black because they have burn spells. We have 2 Tragic Slips, which does work with our sack outlets and being able to do -13 pretty effectively and consistently. Orzhov Charm also being good early game removal spell, not quite as good late game, especially when you're at a low life. It can also be relevant to return one of our 8 1-drops, or it can bounce a creature to save it, but you're mainly going to be doing Destroy a Creature, and you can return one of your 1-drops. They're going to be your main 2 modes of that card. Moving into 2-drops, we have 4 Blood Artist, which is really awesome, especially with the 6 sack outlets. You can get into a sort of combo with Gravecrawlers, Blood Artists, Cartel Aristocrats, making them loot, draining them a lot, and being able to protection from all the creatures in their spells, and swinging in for pretty much a win. It's really hard to come back from it for your opponent, and it can also help you stall their board and their swings. Moving into the next one, Blood Scrivener. This is a new card out of Dragon's Maze. It is really awesome, and when its effect happens, as being something like a Dark Confidant. If you have no cards in hand, you can draw 2 and lose a life, so that's really good when you're in top deck mode and you got this guy. You're sort of going to turn ahead of top deck mode, so you would draw 2 cards, which is really helpful in top deck mode if you're looking for an answer or something, or a certain creature that you need to win the game. You have a better chance of finding it with the Blood Scrivener. The first 2 of the 6 sack outlets is going to be Bloodthorn Vampire. This one sacks any creature, unlike Cartel Aristocrat, which is going to have to be another creature. Bloodthorn Vampire sacrifices a creature, and it's going to get +2/+2. This is really good when your opponent doesn't have anything. You can just sack a bunch of time and smack them in the face for a bunch. But not quite as good as Cartel Aristocrat, which can protect itself, especially in board stalls, when you do have the combo with the Gravecaller, another zombie, Blood Artist, and one of your sack outlets. You can sack, drain them a lot, and then protection this from all the creature colors they have on the deck, their colors of their deck, or the creatures they're playing, so you can hit them for 2, unblockable and unanswerable. Moving into the 3-drops, we have Jareth's Messenger, which is also standard across the board in most of the zombie decks. Really awesome because he's going to come in, he's really versatile with your Cartel Aristocrat being able to sack him also the turn you play him, so you can curve out with a turn 1, drop one of your sack outlets turn 2, and then a Gravecrawler, and then being able to sack him, putting him at 10, and then potentially putting him at 3 the next turn. Also works well with having the counter from the sack and blinking with Restoration Angel, allowing you to make them lose 2 more, and you can sack it again and lose essentially 4, and you get a 3/4 for 4. Moving to the next one, we have Sin Collector. This card is actually really awesome in the main deck. It only doesn't work against enchantment decks, which turns out to be the bad matchup for this deck, so watch out for that. If you're going to play this deck, aim your sideboard towards mainly enchantment-based decks, especially Bant and Selesnya, because that is your bad matchup. Sin Collector is good against anything else. Moving into 4-drops, as I said, Restoration Angel is versatile with all cards in the deck, but mainly with these 9 sitting down here. It can blink Obstat, gaining you 2 more and training your opponent 2 more, or you can take another card out of their hand, or you can do this guy's already come back from a die, you can blink him, they lose 2 more, and you can sack him again. Your 5-drop, Obstat, which is also very relevant with Restoration Angel, comes in and is a good late game. If you don't have anything else, it's a good late game curve. There's only 2 of them in there, because hopefully you can beat your opponent before you need to get to him, but if you need to get to him, he's pretty good against the other aggressive decks, especially in board stalls, because you're going to slowly drain them down. Also with the Blood Artists, the Gravecrawlers, and the sack outlet combo. The last card in the deck that's non-land is Liliana the Veil. This was a last minute addition and turned out to be very good, especially here +1. If you had a Blood Scrivener one card in hand, you could discard it and draw 2 the next turn. Her -2 is pretty good for removing creatures and then being able to have you guys turn sideways, especially if you have a Blood Artist out, because this trigger is going to happen. And their -6 is relevant and just pretty much just a game finisher for them. Looking at the lands we have down here, we have 4 caverns, which is relevant. There are 1, 2, 4. There are 6 different creature types in here, but there's really only 3, which would be vampires, zombies, humans, and there's 2 other ones that are only 4 slots, so hopefully you won't necessarily need to name them. One being a spirit and the other one being an angel. The other lands we have down here, we have 9 white-black lands. We have 4 isolated chapels, 4 godless shrines, and 1 Orzhov Guildgate. Some other decks run 2, but I just don't like having it because it does slow me down since I try to be a little bit more aggressive with my starts. So if it has it in your opening hand, it's bad. But it is a good late game card if you need another white, because it will come in and be essentially another Godless Shrine late game. We have 9 swamps, and that's basically the whole deck. I want to tell you that I should have a deck tech coming up for the Esper Control deck. I haven't made one in a while, and I've made a good bit of changes to it. It's working a lot better now. I should also have more gameplays coming up, and maybe a mono red deck tech. And what other deck techs? Maybe a Team USA one coming up. So look forward to that, and I'll see you next time.